Hello, welcome to another Prehab Rehab Movement session with Dr. O, naturopathic doctor. Today I want to go over your pelvic girdle. So, pelvic girdle, we're looking at this area here. Okay, so we've got the hip bones, the hips really go along all of here, pubic bone and tailbone and all the muscles that go along there. The key to this area is really making sure everything is stable, but also mobile. So we're going to go through some exercises to help you with that. The first thing we're going to go over is some work with a ball. So I know not everybody has a ball at home right now, and that's okay. I invented a ball using some old spare socks because I know everybody has some socks. I just shoved a whole bunch of socks into another sock until it kind of looked like a ball, and then I put all of that inside a pillowcase because the pillowcase isn't very stretchy, and then I just tied that off with an elastic as tight as I can. Okay, so the tighter you can make that, the better your ball is going to be. I made mine a little bigger than the ball I normally use because it does have a little bit of give to that, but I don't really mind it because it does make things a little easier on my body. If you have a ball at home, a good old street hockey ball is great. Also a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, sometimes has a little bit too much give for people, but a tennis ball you can use. Just think anything that kind of looks like this. Now that you have your ball, we're going to start on our glutes. We want to work out all the trigger points in around this area. We tend to get big spots kind of in here. And sometimes they even travel up and feel pain in the low back area. So this is a great exercise for pretty much everybody. I'm going to start by placing this, and if my hip bone is here, I slide it down in here, and then I lean back, and then I take my leg out to the side, and you may feel that already. I will roll onto the ball, bringing the opposite hip up to get a little more intensity, and we just roll back and forth. To add more intensity, you can cross your leg over like you're doing a glute stretch. I'll show you another angle. Here, I've crossed my ankle over my knee, and then I put the ball underneath into the glute muscle, and then I roll onto it. We want to roll out this area for 1 to 2 minutes. And then switch to the other side. So I preferred having my leg crossed, so I'm going to cross the leg over on the other side, place my ball underneath the hip, underneath the glute muscle, find a spot that works, and roll on. While you're doing this, it can be pretty painful, I'm not gonna lie. Just try to breathe through it. It's like a free, deep massage. All right, now we're gonna use the ball to open up our quadricep muscles right around here, and the top of our active band, the TFL, right up here. All these muscles get really tight, so we wanna just put the ball in around here and up here while we lie on top of it. So we lie down, put the ball in, and really just rolling back and forth. Shift it down. You'll find good spots. For me, I find often right up into the hip flexors quite good. Again, I'm working at this for about 1 to 2 minutes is a good time. To get over into that TFL, you ought to think it's right at the top of the hip, right here. And we just want to lean right onto it. and switch to the other side. So if you're working with a regular ball, it can slip out pretty easily. So you might want to just use a hand to hold it in place, or just be mindful. I find the harder ball definitely gets into the quads a little bit better. Remember, you can use your arms for support, right? Everything that isn't working with the ball, we can use to push the floor away with and keep some of the weight off the leg if it's a little too intense for you. Getting it up again into the TFL. Here's another look. Oh. Really just hanging out here. You can smile or you can cry, whatever you need to do. Our next exercise is not sitting on a couch, but we are going to use one. So for this, I'm trying to open up your hip flexors. So they're really high up and they do all of this stuff. So they get a lot of overwork. I want you to put your leg back, come on here, and really lift your chest. I have my hands in front supporting my upper body, and I want you to hold this for at least a minute, even two if you can. I'm taking a little bit of weight on this leg. Most of it is on my back leg. And I'm really working to try to tuck my tailbone under and lift my chest to get as much stretch through that hip flexor as I can. I just wanted to go over that exercise again, just at a little different angle so you could see what I was doing with the pelvic girdle. So we're in this kind of a position, right? And so when I'm saying tuck the pelvis under, I want you to do this tilt here, and lifting the chest is bringing the chest up here. So really want to lengthen out this hip flexor area. By having the leg up on the couch, it allows us to isolate the hip flexor a little bit more and take the work out of the quadricep stretch. Okay, so we're here, chest up and lifting. Enjoy. After opening up our hip flexors, now we're going to open up our SI joint. SI, sacroiliac. So sacrum is the bottom of the spine and ilium is our hip bone. So it's right in here. Lots of tightness here. We're going to do this by elevating our foot up. This is about a foot and a half high. You can go up to a chair height. I find a chair is a little too high. So if you can find something close to this, like a bench, an ottoman, we're going to place a foot up on top. And my shoulder here is just going to slide inside the knee. And I'm going to try to stretch down. So you're going to feel this kind of in here a little bit, hip flexors a little bit, and back in here, just a little bit. It's a pretty subtle stretch. You don't really feel it in the SI, but it's working. Holding this for 60 seconds, and then switch to the other side. Showing you from the other side, foot goes up, shoulder drops inside the knee, and then we just come down and release. Next, we're going to take the spine and go through a little flexion and extension with our yoga cat-cow. A great way to just wake up the spine. We really want you to focus today, of course, on this lower area. So as you arch up into our cat, our angry cat, really think about pushing the belly button up into the spine, drop the head, and really bring that tailbone down. And breathe in. Arch through. So in this position, try to think about your chest lifting up and through the arms, your tailbone reaching up, but don't let your gut hang down, right? We want to pull the belly button in, keep this active through the core still. So on an out breath, exhale, and on an in breath, inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Do this 10 times back and forth. Next exercise, we're staying in the all fours position with the classic bird dog, or as we like to say, the disco dog. So we're down here, shoulders down, belly button in, knees are hip distance apart. Our spine is neutral, so no arching, up or down. We want to really focus on keeping our core solid. That's what this is all about, engaging your core while we move. So this is how I normally see this move done. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. Here, and you're just kind of moving the arm and leg, focusing on reaching them out. That's not how I want you to do it. Here's what I want you to do. Pay attention. Shoulders down, wrists under the shoulders, core engaged. Push down through your left hand and your right knee. And I want you to feel your core engaged all the way across the body. Now, float the left knee back, the right arm forward. No movement in the shoulders, no movement in the hips. Extend, come back, slowly, gently. Try to bring it back without moving anything. Then push down through the right hand. Feel the work across the core, down to the left knee. Once you've established that, then we go for the move. And back. Breathe in to extend out. Breathe out to come back. Push down, stabilize. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out, come back. Push down, stabilize, then extend. Breathe out, come back. 10 aside. To finish off the session today, we're going to do a classic glute bridge. One of the main things we need to do to stabilize this area is to have strong glutes. So here we go. We do a lot of them in the program, but I just want to go over it with you one more time. We can never do enough of these. Shoulders are down. Our knees are in line with our hips. Hands are down by the side. For this one, we're going to roll up. So you're going to tuck the tailbone down. Peel up off the ground, one vertebrae at a time, lifting up to the top of your bridge. I want you to feel work through the back of the hamstrings and the glutes here. Holding, stabilizing, breathe in and breathe out. Squeeze the ribcage together, dropping down, pull the belly button in, dropping down. Really work through the low abs to release down. Breathe in. Breathe out, tuck the tailbone under. Really push the low back into the mat here. Then roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time until we get to here. So remember, this isn't yoga bridge, right? So yoga bridge, well, it would be here, right? We want to tuck our unders and we want to push up. We don't want to get into this position. I want your chest to stay relaxed and soft. So keep the shoulders wide on the ground. Let this area stay soft. And we're working here through the glutes. If you'd like to add a twist onto this, take your legs out a little bit wider and drop the knees side to side. Here's another look at that variation. Feet are wider than the hips. We're really keeping those hips up and stable as we drop the knees side to side. Not a lot of movement here, just a little bit, feeling the bone rotating through the hips, working those internal and external rotators. Lots of credit and thanks to Totem Wellness, Aaron and Oren Smith, for showing me this awesome exercise. Thanks so much for joining me today. We'll see you again tomorrow.